I'm Claire Balding and I'm president of the RFL, and today I want to announce the launch of a brand new educational fund. It is named in honour of Matt King OBE, who died last year at the age of only 33. When he was 17, he was seriously injured playing rugby league. He was a really promising young player and his career was cut short, his life was altered dramatically, and he was responsible for the foundation of the Rugby League Benevolent Fund. This educational legacy will commemorate Matt and everything that mattered to him. I asked his father, Chris, to tell me more about it. Chris, tell me about Matt. What was he like and what mattered to him?
Education was key to Matthew. From a very early age, he was always clever. He was very good at school, academically very good. Physically, he was all in the sports teams. He was just good. He was a natural. He could turn his hand to any subject and do really well at it. And over the period of time, his career in the law took him to various different places, but it was all underpinned by education. And it was just what he focused in when he wasn't playing sport. He was hitting the books. That's what he did.
And obviously in his situation, and this would happen to many people, he fell back on education because obviously his sporting career was stopped in its tracks.
Yes, that's absolutely right. He realised that the only thing he had left was his brain. And then after talking to my wife, it was then that decision was made, how can I use my brain? And that's how returning to school, finishing at Stratton School was so important, then moving on to doing the law degree down at St Albans, and the teacher training that he got down there was fundamental. So education was key to Matthew's survival and moving forward.
And presumably that is why you wanted to set up this bursary in his memory, to preserve the thing that really mattered to him and help other people.
Absolutely. Education underpinned by the bursary from the RFL will be key to somebody moving forward with education to underpin their careers, using the money for any purpose within the bursary for transport, living accommodation, costs, books. It will be there for them to use.
And I guess often is the case that people have to choose, don't they, between education or a career in rugby league, and this would allow them maybe to be able to do both side by side, and that's something that Matt certainly thought was important, and so do you.
Absolutely. It all linked together, the sports and the education, because they are both intertwined together. People shouldn't have to make a decision and choose, but if they do have to choose, we're going to be there to support them to make that choice a little bit easier. Education and sport working together. When
you look back now at Matt's life and what he achieved and what he is responsible for having started, what are your standout thoughts? What do you want to be commemorated and never forgotten?
As proud parents of what he actually achieved in his very short time with us on this earth, we look to the inspiration that he inspired in other people for them to move forward and not to be held back. And lots of people have supported us who have enabled us to support him. So his legacy is always going to be, let's get it done, let's achieve something, because life is too short. We have a very short time on this world. Make the most of it.
I think also that what's changed so massively is that no parents will have to go through what you went through when he was injured, in terms of rugby league now having a structure that supports the whole family.
That's correct. Back in when Matthew got hurt, there was nothing. There was no support whatsoever. Now that's completely changed. The RFL Benevolent Fund, with all their staff and people, Steve Ball, shouldn't mention name, but Steve has supported us magnificently over the years. Without that support, we couldn't have achieved our peace of mind. The RFL have been fantastic in supporting us as a family. His brothers have moved forward. We've all learned great things.
Chris, your final message. Who are you looking for to apply and how do they do it?
We're looking for anyone aged between 16 and 25 to apply to the RFL, to submit an application for the bursary. We will consider all the applications and then we will determine the most effective use of their money. It's an annual bursary that will be granted year on year in remembrance of Matthew's time with us.
So just to reiterate, if you are aged between 16 and 25, or if you know someone who is and would be suitable for this bursary, then make sure that you apply. Go to the website, put your application in. All of them will be considered by Matt's parents, by the RFL as well. And who knows, this £10,000 bursary could make a real difference to someone's life. Thank you.